I hope everybody is doing well, that you're staying safe, and that you're warm. And it was a tough decision for us to cancel church this weekend. We did it most of all because we don't want anybody to get hurt out on the roads because our doors are open. So I want to take an opportunity just to share a meditation with you via our webcast here. And I want to share our meditation today on what it means to stop, what it means to have a Sabbath. I probably have about 12 inches of snow outside of my house. I haven't gotten into the snow yet. It's pretty high for me. But instead, I've made a decision to busy myself inside. I have ironed all the things in our closets. I've done all the laundry, done all the dishes. I have finished a novel. I've brushed the dog's fur and the dog's teeth. And I'm getting ready to mop some floors. Do you think I have a problem? Even my children are having a problem with slowing down and stopping on this stop day that God has given us. In our bedroom, we have a window that faces the outside, and we can see the snow falling. It's a really beautiful scene, and so I call it my Zen window. This afternoon, while I was taking a nap with Sophia Grace, she woke up, and we were sitting there, and I just wanted to be still with her and cuddle her, and for us to look outside. I said, look outside of the window. Look at the snow. And she looked at the snow, and she said, it's blowing. It looks like it's flying. And then she hopped up in the bed, and she said, I can fly. And I had an image of my brother who thought he could fly as well, and he decided to jump out of a first-story window and ended up at the hospital. And so in my mom brain, I immediately said, no, Sophia Grace, you cannot fly. But she said, I have wings. I can fly. And I said, no, Sophia Grace, you don't have wings. She said, but I have feathers. I said, no, Sophia Grace, you don't have feathers either. She said, looked at me very seriously and said, I want to fly. I need to learn to fly. You need to buy me flying lessons now. To which I just smiled and laughed. We all have a difficult time stopping. We have a difficult time even when everything else stops around us, even when we're forced to stop. We just can't help ourselves. We have things to do. We have things to do like learning how to fly. We have things to buy like flying lessons. But none of it is truly productive or really necessary. Days like these really can be frustrating, and for people like me who have a difficult time stopping, I just create things around me to do because I struggle to stop. But these are also times when we really don't have a choice, especially for those of us who can't get out with our vehicles. We don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle. There are times also when our bodies make us stop. When we're moving so much and so fast for so long that we get sick. There are times when we have 12 inches of snow and it's coming more and there's wind, when no matter how hard we try, we just can't get out of the house. I call these days a forced stop day. Forced stop day. And it can be a gift. It can be a real gift. It's an opportunity for us to allow our souls to catch up with our minds and our bodies. It's stop days remind us that we really are not in control. Even though most days we work really hard to convince ourselves that we are, stop days remind us that we are not God. And that our world is much bigger than us. Stop days. Another word for that is Sabbath. In the Gospels, in all four Gospels, Jesus, we have a few stories in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, about how Jesus really got in trouble over this issue of Sabbath. Jesus healed on the Sabbath. He allowed his disciples to pluck grain, which would have been considered working on the Sabbath. He really had a lot of conversations with the Pharisees about the Sabbath, and ultimately, their difficulty with the way that he kept Sabbath, they arrested him over this. Sabbath is difficult. It's difficult for us. It's difficult for the people during Jesus' time. It was so complicated during that time that they literally could not do anything without going against Sabbath rules. What Jesus does for us is say, the Sabbath has been created for us. The Sabbath does not rule over us, but we have been created to enjoy the Sabbath, like God enjoyed the Sabbath on the seventh day. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a day where we can rest. It's meant to be a day of mercy, of grace, a day where we can enjoy the people who are the closest around us, a day where we can enjoy, most of all, God and God's creation. So, on this forced stop day, for those of you who aren't on call if you're a doctor, or on call if you are a medic or a postman, for those of us who are forced to stop, enjoy it. Enjoy the gift that God has given us for God's and ours enjoyment. I want to read to you in conclusion, I want to read to you a passage. This book is called Always We Begin Again. This is a gift that Luke Lingle gave me while we were serving together at Central. It's an interpretation of the Benedictine rule of life, and I highly suggest it. It's a great little devotional. I want to read this little bit about what Benedict says about each day. Hear these words. At the beginning of each day, after we open our eyes to receive the light of that day, and as we listen to the voices and sounds that surround us, we must resolve to treat each hour as the rarest of gifts and be grateful for the consciousness that allows us to experience it, recalling in thanks that our awareness is a present from we know not where, or how, or why. When we rise from sleep, let us rise for joy of the true work that we will be about this day, and considerately cheer one another on. Life will always provide matters for concern, yet each day brings with it reasons for joy. Each day carries the potential to bring the experience of heaven. Have the courage to expect good from it. Be gentle with this life and use the light of life and live fully in your time. May your day be blessed. May your day be holy. May your day be filled with joy.